Are you considering studying abroad, but worried about the cost of tuition? Well, we've got some good news for you. There are several countries that offer free education to international students. In this video, we'll be sharing the top 5 countries with free education for international students. Before we begin this video, we would like to talk about a major misconception about the cost of education abroad. Many people believe that colleges or universities in West is extremely expensive, however that's not the case. Most of the universities are relatively cheap, only a few prestigious institutes like Oxford or Harvard are expensive. For students who want to move overseas for education, it's not the college or universities that are expensive but the living cost. 80% stress is about the accommodation, which includes rent, transportation, medical bills, insurances and leisure expense. In fact, the major run is finding a job that can support you financially to afford both the living and university costs. Here are some of the countries that have relatively low or almost zero cost for education. We will also mention the accommodation cost for each country. At number 1 we have Germany. Germany offers free education to international students in all public universities, regardless of their nationality or country of origin. This includes undergraduate and graduate programs. However, some states may require a small fee for administrative purposes. As of 2023, it has been officially estimated that international students need approximately $1,100 per month to cover their living expenses in Germany, which means around $12,500 per year. Students need to show proof they can cover their living expenses in Germany to get a visa. Along with these requirements, you also need to learn and pass basic German language test in order to qualify to be eligible for application, as the German language is must for anyone applying. Next up at number 2 we have Norway. Norwegian universities offer tuition-free education to all students, including international students. However, living expenses can be relatively high in Norway. Cost of living in Norway varies a lot for international students. This varies depending on location to location in the country. For example, it costs $1,300 to $2,100 per month to live in Oslo. However, if you choose to stay in other cities that are relatively cheaper, the cost will come down to $700 per month. Our third country is Finland. Finnish universities do not charge tuition fees for international students who are citizens of EU/EEA countries or Switzerland. However, non-EU/EEA students are required to pay tuition fees, but they are relatively low compared to other countries. As of living cost for students in Finland, you need to show that you have sufficient financial resources as well as insurance when you apply for your student residence permit. Monthly living expenses for students are around $750 to $1,000, depending on where you live and your personal living habits. Sweden also offers free education to international students in some cases, such as those pursuing research studies or doctoral degrees. However, fees may apply for other types of programs. Students in Sweden should budget for at least $900 to $1,000 per month to cover all of their living costs. Your monthly rent for accommodation will take the most of your budget and probably cost around $400 to $500, or perhaps even more. How much you pay for rent depends on the location, size, and type of housing. Last but not least is Denmark. Getting a university education in Denmark is free for EU/EEA students or permanent residents. Danish universities do not charge tuition fees for any student, including international students. However, living expenses can be high in Denmark. So there you have it, the top 5 countries with free education for international students. Keep in mind that some of these countries may require international students to have a certain level of proficiency in their language, and some programs may have other requirements that need to be met. But if you're looking for an affordable way to study abroad, these countries are a great place to start. In the description we have added the links to follow up on how to apply to each of these countries. Thanks for watching and good luck with your studies.